Mm. Mm. I have always been the kind who needed roots and needed ground, who built his world in careful layers and kept everything in place, who measured every step before he took it and had found a kind of safety in the known and the familiar space. But something shifted in the mirror when I looked at you and knew that all the careful and the measured had become a smaller thing, that the only ground I needed was the ground beneath your shoe, and the only home I wanted was wherever you would bring. And I have asked myself if this is reckless or is brave, if following you anywhere is freedom or a chain. But the answer comes back clear as anything I've ever craved, that choosing where you are is choosing everything to gain. I'd follow you anywhere, into the dark and into the light, into the places that have no name and roads with no return. Across the distance and the doubt and everything I'd have to learn. Not because I have no choice or because I have no will, but because where you go is simply where I'm meant to be. I'd follow you anywhere, and follow you I will, because following you is the most deliberate kind of free. Tell me that the road ahead is longer than we planned for. Tell me that the destination isn't certain or isn't clear. Tell me that the journey will demand more than we've scanned for, more courage and more patience than we thought we'd need from here. And I will take your hand and face the whole of it beside you. We'll walk into the unknown with my eyes completely wide, because every unknown territory is less terrifying through you, and every unnamed road becomes the one I choose with pride. And I have asked myself if this is reckless or is brave, if following you anywhere is freedom or a chain. But the answer comes back clear as anything I've ever craved, that choosing where you are is choosing everything to gain. I'd follow you anywhere, into the dark and into the light, into the places that have no name and roads with no return. I'd follow you anywhere, through every day and every night, across the distance and the doubt and everything I'd have to learn. Not because I have no choice or because I have no will, but because where you go is simply where I'm meant to be. I'd follow you anywhere, and follow you I will, because following you is the most deliberate kind of free. And some will say that following is not the strongest stance, that love should be two equals walking side by side. But I have learned that sometimes love is knowing when to dance behind the one whose instincts you trust more than your own pride. And I would follow you, not because you asked me to or lead me, but because the direction that you're moving always feels like right. And every road you take is one I find I deeply need me to be on beside you through the day and through the night. Follow you anywhere, into the dark and into the light, into the places that have no name and roads with no return. have no choice, or because I have no will, but because where you go is simply where I'm meant to be. I'd follow you anywhere, and follow you I will, because following you is the most deliberate kind of free. I'd follow you anywhere, just say the word and I am there. I'd follow you anywhere, because you are the only destination worth the dare. We are sitting in the same room we have always shared, breathing the same air and looking at the same four walls. But something in the space between us has me scared, a quiet that feels different from the quiet I recall. I remember when the silence had a warmth inside it, when the distance between bodies wasn't distance at all. But somewhere in the living of this life we've built, I've lost it, that specific kind of closeness I can't seem to recall. I'm not blaming you, and I am not pointing at a reason. I just know that something slowly and without a word has changed, and I need to ask before we lose another season, for the one thing that would make this feel less estranged. Hold me like before, the way you used to without thinking, like my body was a place you always knew to find. Hold me like before we started slowly sinking into all the ordinary things that left this behind. Not a grand gesture or a fixing of what's broken, just your arms around me like they used to know the way. Hold me like before, and let this be the token of two people finding each other in the middle of the gray. I have tried to name the moment when the shift began, to find the exact day the warmth decided to recede. But it wasn't any single thing or part of any plan. It was just the slow accumulation of the daily and the need, the busyness that fills the hours until there's nothing left, the tiredness that makes the reaching feel too far. And slowly, without noticing, we both of us were bereft of the closeness that had always told us who we are. I'm not blaming you, and I am not pointing at a reason. I just know that something slowly and without a word has changed, and I need to ask before we lose another season, for the one thing that would make this feel less estranged. Hold me like before, the way you used to without thinking, like my body was a place you always knew to find. Hold me like before we started slowly sinking into all the ordinary things that left this behind. people finding each other in the middle of the gray. And I believe we're still in there beneath the distance, still the two who found each other and decided this was real. I believe that all it takes is just the slightest insistence on returning to the thing we both still very deeply feel. So hold me not because the problems have been solved tonight, not because the future is as certain as it once appeared. Hold me because we are still worth the reaching and the light, and because I need to know that you are still right here. Hold me like before, the way you used to without thinking, like my body was a place you always knew to find. Hold me like before, before we started slowly sinking into all the ordinary things that left this behind. Not a grand gesture or a fixing of what's broken, just your arms around me like they used to know the way. Hold me like before, and let this be the token of two people finding each other in the middle of the gray. Hold me like before, and let's begin again from here. Hold me like before,